Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to Path of Exile Heist with Lone Debater 7, and today we're going to see if we can't finish the Act 5 today, which I think we can do. So we need to go back to the Ruined Square. There's 3 maps off of this one that we're looking for. So the ossuary is one that will kind of progress the main line. Since it's right by the waypoint, we are going to do that one last because we can portal scroll back to town and just teleport directly to it. So I want to find either the reliquary, and I believe just inside of the Ravaged Square, the Utola or whatever, however you pronounce that dude's name, is just kind of chilling somewhere. So we need to find him and kill him, which is really easy to do. It's just more or less you gotta kind of explore the map to find him, which can take some time, but I want to say normally he's off in one of these corners. On the right is normally where I find him. So we're gonna kind of use that as our guide and see if we can't find him. And the only reason why I'm doing this is it gives us a couple more passive points, which might be useful to us, so we can start increasing our DPS even further before we, face the active boss. Just because we might want some extra DPS. Granted, we probably are doing enough DPS at this point that it's not going to matter all that much, but passives are passives are passives. You always want more passives, so let's see if we can't find this dude. He might be over in this little corner. There we go. There'll be like a courtyard. Yeah, this is probably him up here, so yeah. This is the dude, so not too big of a deal. We're gonna kill all of these homies kind of surrounding them. We got our Stormbrand procced, and there you go, he is dead. So easy peasy. Talk to Bannon, we'll get an award. I forget if it's either a Book of Regret or a Book of Skill. I'm hoping that it's a Book of Skill because honestly, a Book of Regret doesn't do us much good. But either way, we got that side mission done. So now we need to find the reliquary in order to do the secondary side quests. And I know I've said in the past that side quests typically aren't worth doing, just because you can progress faster if you just stick to the main line. The exception to that is in Act 5, because I want to say that the side quests here actually give you increased passive skills that are going to be useful to you before you fight the boss. So there we go, get the waypoint. That's the other thing, exploring the map like this will give you more waypoints that you can warp to down the road. So even if you don't want to find the remnants or whatever, it is worth just finding the reliquary and walking in so you can get that waypoint so you can come back and do it faster later. It's up to you, of course, but we're gonna go find the remnants. Basically, there's 3 or 4 chests scattered throughout this map that we have to find. It's not too bad, like it's fairly easy, honestly. But yeah, you just kind of gotta walk through and clear out a bunch of guys. So you've got, I think most of them do fire damage in here. There might be a little bit of mix though, so whatever. You always want your, resistances capped. We've said that several times, I want to say. So if at this point you don't get that, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But there you go. So you'll find chests with exclamation points over them. You open those, they'll have one of the remnants inside. And basically you got to find all of them, and then you turn all of those in at the town to one of the characters. I forget who it is. I want to say it's Lonnie. It might be someone else though. So here we go. Normally they're on opposite sides, like they are in like the corners of the map. So if you find one and walk across the map, you'll find the other, and then you just walk down the map like this to find the next. Ooh, something hit us for a lot. Okay, so there's a corrupted area over here, which we could potentially do. I mean, we definitely have the damage output and stuff like that to be able to clear it. You know what? Fuck it. While we're doing side stuff, let's go into the restricted collection corrupted zone and clear this shit out. So the fact we haven't found anyone yet is kind of surprising. There we go. Kill some homies. Because sometimes you get decent loot out of completing these corrupted zones. Or you have the potential to get pretty decent loot anyway. It is RNG, just like everything else in this game. But, it might be worth your time to do it. So here we go. Normally you will find Val Gems is kind of the reason why you would, you know, consider doing this or prioritizing these corrupted zones. Because if you get the right Val Gem, normally they have some sort of special effect that they add on to the base skill, which can be really good if you find the right one. Like, I think I do have a Val Summon Raging Spirit Gem. It's not leveled, of course, so it's not as good as the one that we're using. That's why I'm not using it, but, you know, that actually is a pretty good item. We found a Viridian Jewel, which, I mean, finding a socket-eating jewel is always a pretty good drop, just because they are fairly rare. There is a boss right here, so take him out. And this is the Val Vessel, that's what you're looking for. And you get some decent stuff, so that is like a map piece. So we've got a couple Val Gems, not really worth anything. We will take the helmet because it is a yellow level item, so we can sell that for alchemy shards, I believe. But there we go. We got the corrupted zone done. Pretty easy, all things considered. So we just got to find the rest of the remnants, right? So not too hard. Go back in, DPS stuff, like you do. Oh, another thing, in case you haven't noticed at this point, if you're playing the character along, if you flame dash twice, the first flame dash typically doesn't move all your minions with you, but the second one will. I think it's based off of how far ahead you are, but eventually they all teleport up on you. So if you teleport in front of your minions, and it feels like they've been left behind or whatever, just teleport again with flame dash, and you should get them all on top of you. So that is all the remnants. There are only 3 of them, so easy peasy, we got that done. I am going to go back to town because I believe they take up inventory spaces, so here we go. And besides, we need to go to the ossuary, which is right off the waypoint, so going back to town is kind of the best thing to do. So there we go, we got a book of skill, great. And I think Bannon gives you one as well. No, he gives you a jewel, so guess we'll take the cobalt one, sure. We're going to sell out some of these items because I don't need them. So that gem is not worth much. Cool, there we go. Get a couple things. I mean, we get some chromatic orbs anyway. I think you get a guaranteed chromatic orb anytime you sell an item with 4 sockets on it, regardless of color. So that can be good. I guess we'll keep this cobalt gem, just put it in our giant tab of shit that we're probably never going to use, but whatever, we've got it. And I guess we can go ahead and do the next couple passives. So we're going to go up these life nodes right here. This also gives you 5 to your elemental resistances when you take the center one, so that's actually pretty good to get before you go and fight Kitava, just because it will increase your resistances a little bit further, which will help you sustain a little bit better. With that, let's go into the ossuary. And we gotta find the Sign of Purity, which is basically used to summon Kitava, I want to say, is what that does. I don't remember the whole, you know, backstory or whatever, but that's fine. It looks like it's gonna be over here, or that's a, whatchamacallit, a Trial of Ascendancy. Either way, we'll go check it out because it is highlighted on the map, which means it probably is something we want to look at. We will grab this sulfurite. Looks like it's over this way, and we must need to go down farther. Ooh, there's a big boy right here. Not a big deal. Take him out. Easy peasy. That's what I love about this build. Like, you really can just focus on walking through the map for the most part. I mean, obviously, if you're summoning your Raging Spirit, it's going to increase how much damage you're doing and stuff like that. But yeah, so you find the Tomb of the First Templar, open that, and get the Sign of Purity. Then we need to go access the Cathedral Rooftop, which is back off of the Ruined Square. So we're just going to pop a portal scroll, go back to town, and then take the waypoint back. I want to say, so you can't actually access the Cathedral Rooftop until you get that Sign of Purity. It's like blocked by some debris or something, but normally I say, it is off on the side. Now, it's either going to be down or it's going to be up. If we end up walking all the way down here and still don't find what we're looking for, we probably have to go up through the center of the map, but I think it is this direction. Yeah, so it's right up here. If you would have gone over here before getting that sign of purity, you would have encountered like some flames and shit like that, so no worries. Here we go, we're on the cathedral rooftop now, and basically we just go through here until we get to Kitava's arena, which I think is the cathedral apex is what it's called. There's only one exit off this map, so not too big of a deal. You basically just gotta clear stuff and go. Not too difficult. I think there are a couple of dudes that deal chaos damage up here, though, so just bear that in mind. If you don't have a very high chaos resist at this point, you know, you might end up taking a shit ton of damage and be wondering what the hell's happening. Well, they're dealing chaos, so you're not resistant against chaos, you know, unless you have good armor or something that has chaos resistance on it, which, you know, may be the case, may not, either way. So, anyway, we're almost to the boss fight. We might be able to do this before minute 20 hits, most likely. Just because, you know, we DPS like a champion with this build, so I have a feeling that we're gonna end up doing a fair amount of damage to Kitava. When I played this build with our party at League start, so we had 4 dudes or whatever, basically, once I entered the map, like, our build did the bulk of the damage against Kitava, just because we, you know, do so much damage, but whatever. So here we go. We're getting closer, I think. I don't recall this map being super massive, but it might be. And I call it a map, it's really just an area in the act, but maps are different, so don't get triggered by that if you're a veteran of the game or whatever. So Cathedral Apex is where we're going. We're going to take this next life node before we enter. There we go. We've got all of our dudes up, so you got to put the purity sign right in there. It'll spawn Kitava, which will come up. So there's a couple of things with this dude. Primary one is this will kill you, so just run to the back of the map. And he does it a couple times. So this guy goes in waves, so when that thing hits, what happens next is his heart pops out and he spawns like this massive enemy dude. So get all your skulls ready to rock and roll like this. So he comes back as in the secondary form. So this will send out those little blobs. You want to avoid those. They deal chaos damage and they deal a lot of it, so they will kill you. You also want to avoid that. So there's kind of like 3 little insta-death moves that he sends out. So this is the little guy that runs around. He deals a lot of damage, so try to avoid him as much as you can. You are wanting to focus fire on the heart and on him, both at the same time, because that's how you progress into the next stage of the boss fight. So you don't actually end up killing Kitava this time. Basically, I think the way the story describes it is we're not strong enough to defeat him in our current state, so that's fine. As you can see, we are just wrecking the shit out of him, though. So no worries. We're doing great. Not too big of a deal. You want to watch out, though. There will be... I want to say in this fight he lights the whole map on fire, like he does in the Act 10 fight with them, but that may be wrong. So he also has that little wave thing, which can do a fair amount of damage, so bear that in mind. There we go. He's going to drop again, and here he comes back up. Now he's in his final form. Not a big deal. As you can see, like, with this build, we just deal a fuck ton of damage, so it's not that big of a deal. So he destroys the Sign of Purity. Not a big deal. So there we go. That's the end of the Act 5. Or that's the end of Act 5. Sing comes in and saves you because you're not strong enough to beat Kitava at this point, so they say. I mean, granted, we probably would have been fine if they would have just let us kill him, but not a big deal. So this is the start of Act 6. Well, Act 6, you got to sail to Ray class, so it puts you back outside of Oriath, I want to say. in Act 5, so if you hit Sail to Ray class, that will take you back to Lion Eyes Watch for Act 6. Basically, Acts 6 through 10 are repeats of Acts 1 through 5. Little different missions, little different enemies that you fight. They're stronger and stuff. And you are not as strong because you have a minus 30 to all of your resistances. So first things first, in Act 6 town, go talk to everyone. So you get all the missions, and that's about it. So I think we're going to sell these 2 items, fill up our currency tab a little bit, and I think we'll call it after that. And we'll start Act 6 in the next episode. But there you have it, guys. We finished Act 5 pretty easily. I mean, a lot of builds have trouble with the Act boss in Act 5 just because it is fairly tough, reasonably speaking, because, you know, chaos damage is typically something you don't have a lot of resistance against, and Kitava has a lot of different moves that one-shot you. So we did it relatively easily. I didn't actually clock the entire boss fight, but I want to say it was less than 3 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood, to defeat him. So, you know, this build is super viable. If you're looking for something that's easy to play that does a shit ton of damage, like, I would suggest doing a Necromancer build, just like this, Raise Spectre. You will have a lot of fun. I mean, realistically, you push 3 buttons. You push your Summon Raging Spirit button, you push your Stormbrand to mark stuff, and you use your Flame Dash to escape. And that's about it. I mean, I guess technically you gotta raise all your minions and stuff like that, but whatever. That's pretty easy too, and once they're up, they're up. But anyway, guys, we're gonna call it here for today. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always, and until next time, this has been Lone Debater 7, and we will see ya.